The Legend of Zelda has had many heroes over the years, from the hero of the skies to the hero of winds to the hero of the wild. Each of these heroes is a boy named Link who has defied all odds and expectations and saved the world of the goddesses from the clutches of evil. But though each Link has their fair share of heroic deeds, one in particular stands out head and shoulders above the rest of them. And I mean that somewhat literally. This iconic hero among heroes is the one and only Hero of Time, from the games Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, oh yeah, and Twilight Princess. For those who have played the games, we know that the Hero of Time lived on after his adventures in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and the next time we see our beloved Ocarina player, he's dead. He's a ghost that can't move on into the next world and lingers on in our own world because he has unfinished business, which, according to his own words, is because he, quote, could not convey the lessons of that life to those who came after, end quote. By the end of Twilight Princess, he's eased his regrets and moved on. But here's where it gets interesting. If the Hero of Twilight is Time's descendant, that must have meant that the Hero of Time had children of his own blood in later years. If he wasn't able to teach his own children the lessons he needed to teach the Hero of Twilight, does that mean that he died unexpectedly? Does this mean that something killed him? Now I know what you're thinking. What if he died of natural causes? What in the world would have been able to kill the hero who defeated the Demon King Ganon as a 10-year-old boy in a 17-year-old's body? Good questions. Let's talk about them. First off, let's expound on what we know to be factual about the hero's shade so that we're all on the same page. As previously mentioned, according to the Hyrule Historia and in-game dialogue, the hero's shade is Link from Ocarina of Time. Another piece of evidence proving he's the ghost of the hero is that he also has a wolf form, just like the Hero of Twilight does. And his song selection for the Howling Stone segments are nearly all songs from Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, both of which are adventures of the Hero of Time. Furthermore, we know that the shade is an ancestor to at least the Hero of Twilight because of the in-game piece of dialogue where he mentions the Hero of Twilight is carrying the hero's bloodline. And he's hellbound on teaching his secrets to the next generation, the Hero of Twilight. After he's done teaching the Hero of Twilight all of his super secret samurai sword skills, he states that he has at last eased his regrets before uttering his final farewell. But once we begin looking at the visual clues we can get from the shade's appearance, questions begin to start popping up. Most obviously, the hero shade is fully clad in armor. Now while this could be personal armor he had whipped up for himself later on in life, I tend to think that it's knightly armor. If you look closely at the more raggedy portions, you can see the armor included a layer of chainmail which has been either pierced or rotted away, and chainmail is not only a historical staple of knightly armor, but is worn by all the Hylian soldiers in Twilight Princess. The helmet is also rather showy, which was typical in historical times as a show of rank. For example, Roman centurions who outranked regular soldiers would wear these really floofy things on their heads as a sign of their rank and authority. You don't see any personal armor sets looking that showy throughout history, unless of course we're talking about Skyrim. His armor does have markings on it, but no matter how much I've tried, I can't link the designs to any people group across the Zelda franchise. If you think you know something about the markings on his armor, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Now let's look at the state of his overall, self. The fact that the body we can see fades in and out of visibility means he's some sort of specter or ghost, and not a Stalfos, which is a physical skeletal enemy, though yes, he does bear some visual similarities. His armor is old, cracked, and rotted, but more importantly, it's battle-hardened. We can see that one of his helmet's horns is cut off, not worn or rotted, but cleanly sliced off, indicating battle against sword users, or maybe a nasty beast with really sharp claws. Oh yeah, and he's also missing an eye. There doesn't appear to be a scar on his face surrounding his eye, meaning, and I apologize if this is a little gross, but this most likely means that his eye got damaged by something piercing it and then it had to be removed. Finally, we see that he doesn't exactly look like he's been buried. I mean, do you see what he's covered in? Leaves. Lots of leaves. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think leaves tend to sprout around and grow when they're 6 feet under. No, this guy is dead and isn't buried. And it's from this that I deduce he died out in the field, fully clad, in battle, and his body was most likely never found. This would explain why he's a regretful ghost now. He was taken from this world before he wanted to be. He didn't get to say goodbye to his children or his wife. Sounds like a classic vengeful ghost story to me. So now that we're all on the same page with what must have happened to the hero of time, it's time for the big question. Who or what did this to the hero? We have a few clues. 1. He was killed in an area that would probably support lush greenery as we see vines growing on his armor. 2. The killing blow was most likely delivered to his abdomen, as that's the only part of his armor that appears to be completely destroyed, and would therefore mean he was most likely dealt a killing blow that would look something like, well, which means his attacker was most likely a blade-wielding foe. This is all complete speculation, of course, but here are 2 of my guesses. 1. He may have been in the Lost Woods when a Stalfos got the better of him. Maybe multiple Stalfos. Maybe they outnumbered him, and after all those years of the hero being triumphant over the skeletal enemies, they finally overpowered him, and he paid the price with his life. Another really interesting idea is that his old foe, Dark Link himself, caught back up with him, but this time Dark Link was victorious. It's important to note that we don't see Dark Link die in the Water Temple after we battle him. He just kind of fades away the same as he had been doing throughout their whole battle anyway. We do see references to Dark Link in Twilight Princess. So if the entity was still alive between the events of Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, I think it's probable that Link crossed paths with his old foe again. What if Link met with him in the Lost Woods, where he's from, to finish what was started long ago and truly defeat the darkness within himself? Only this time, without the Master Sword, he met his ultimate demise. You gotta admit, it's incredibly poetic, but also just a theory, a Zelda theory. I have no idea where I got that from. What do you think? Was the hero of time killed? Did he pass away of old age? Tell me all about it in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please be sure to leave a like to help the channel out. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe right now for much more Zelda content to come. Check out my other theories and top 10s I've done about Zelda on the channel. I polled you guys again a few days ago about the title of this video, and again, we had a winner. The person with the username Ran in my Discord server got it almost right off the bat. So Ran, congratulations, leave us a comment below if you want to proclaim your victory to everybody else watching. And to everybody else watching, if you'd like to get a shout out just like this one, be sure to stay tuned for my next hint that'll be coming out in about a week. If you guess it right, you'll get a shout out. As always, huge thanks to you for watching and to my beloved Patreon supporters for doing what they do and making my day every day. Check the links in the description for my Discord server to chat it up with the best of us, or to check out my Patreon support tiers and get your name in every one of my videos. That's all I've got for you today, so without further ado, this is MaskedNintendoBandit signing out. Peace!